What on earth is that thing? Out of all the Jokers we've seen in fiction, they all look like child's play compared to this monster. A Joker that subverts everything you know about the classic Joker. A Joker that's nothing like the Joker you know, and his origin is far wilder than you might expect. Something out of a Lovecraftian horror story. People have been telling me to look into the absolute Batman universe, the absolute DC universe as a whole for a while. And I've been hesitant to do this because, one, I'm a cinema guy, this channel is about movies, and there's so many weird comic book runs where characters are changed and all that. Like, Deathstroke was a PDF file. Deathstroke, one of my favorite DC villains, is literally a PDF file child groomer in one of these comic books, right? Any comic book can just turn one of your favorite characters inside out and make it something deformed. As I looked into this, the darkness, the brutality of the story, this isn't the Batman story you know, and that will piss off a lot of people, because this takes everything and flips it. It flips the entire table of lore on its head. Bruce Wayne's a blue-collar worker. His family, they're like a middle-income household, and his dad gets shot at a fucking zoo, and his mom is still alive, and he's trying to protect her and all that, so it's a very different story. He's built like a freaking freight truck. He's not rich. In fact, he has to build himself to this strength, to this level of skill, because he needs to make up for his lack of rich resources. This dude's logo on his chest is a freaking battle axe. He can take the bat of his chest and make it a battle axe that he cuts people's limbs off with. He's very combat and brutality oriented because he lacks crazy tech. He's not the hyper-intelligent dude from the comic books, even though he retains stuff like Batman's no-kill code and all that. He's got similar aspects of that same character at heart, but he's very, very different. And don't even get me started on the villains. Killer Croc's a freaking xenomorph kaiju. Look at Mr. Freeze. This is a fucking Wendigo ghoul. That is one of Walter White's meth heads that he sells to often. That's what he is. And then we get to the Joker of this absolute universe, which is one of the most dark, unhinged universes ever, by the way. This guy ain't your regular, average Joker. He is basically like a reverse Bruce Wayne in the classical sense. He is a billionaire who traveled the world, mastering all bunch of skills like Bruce Wayne, but he murders his mentors when they are no longer useful to him. He operates as a wealthy, silent CEO of a multinational corporation, masterminding all these terrorist acts and global criminal conspiracies, running black sites for human experimentation. He's like Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne formed into one. But he's ironically called the Joker because he never laughs. He never smiles. He's very cold and calculating. He's focused on order rather than chaos. So people, it's like a joke calling him the Joker. There are ancient and demonic ties that he has. His backstory is hinted to stretch back to clown lineage from the 1800s, suggesting that he might be this entity of folklore called Pale Man. He's believed to be connected to some primordial evil that has long haunted Gotham. This is some eldritch god type shit, okay? Now the Pale Man is this, I might have to censor this for YouTube, bro. The Pale Man is this creature of folklore, similar to the Slender Man, right? This twists something that was done in the initial comic book runs. In Batman Endgame, Joker basically tried to convince Batman that he was immortal by hinting at the fact that he could have been this creature known as the Pale Man, which has existed for hundreds of years. So he tried to trick Batman into thinking he was something he wasn't, but Batman debunked these claims, debunked this rumor in the comic book. But the Absolute Universe takes this and makes it literal for the Joker. So this hints at the idea that this Joker could be a vampire, or maybe connected to the Lazarus Pits, which gives him this ageless ability, this immortality of some way. But how does it work? This dude needs blood of children. He feeds on the blood of children through blood transfusions. Takes kids, does blood transfusions so he can keep his human appearance and stop himself from transforming into something else, because this Joker has a disease. He turns into this! What? He turns into a crackhead freaking demon. Look at this motherfucker. Just look at him. This is a demon. This is a demon. You want no part of this.
Besides his demonic form, which probably includes a combination of super strength, durability, speed, maybe regeneration, he also has supreme intelligence, genius level intellect, strategy. He can manipulate others easily. But in this universe, he discovers the Omega particle, which to him proves cosmic order, which justifies his own tyranny and violence over others.
Now, the extent of this guy's powers are unknown still. This is still a very early adaptation of the Joker. But from what I've gathered and surmised, he's basically like Norman Osborn's ultimate Green Goblin from the Ultimate Spider-Man run, who can transform into this monstrous Green Goblin, combined with Pennywise. That's what this Joker fundamentally is. He has eldritch origin as well. He's not just, oh, I'm a big ass monster with teeth and sharp spikes and all that. No. He is tied to the supernatural in more ways than one. We need to understand how this absolute universe came about, because canonically, its origin actually points to something. Darkseid created this universe. Darkseid allowed himself to die in some previous run, and basically he got absorbed into the Spectre, and from that absorption, a release of negative Omega energy was caused. And this negative Omega energy created its own blank slate universe built on Omega beam energy. A clean slate universe built in the exact image that Darkseid wants. And basically, it's built on having heroes that are very disadvantaged and weak. It's built on a world compromised of evil, structured for despair, tyranny, and corruption, rather than hope and heroism. In this reality, evil is the default, and heroes are underdogs fighting a pervasive system that is inherently biased against them because it's built on negative, evil energy from Darkseid. Many of the heroes are dark for a reason in this story, right? Superman, in this example, he's very dark. He's very brooding. He's kind of depressed too because he was born in a corrupt caste system on Krypton. Sent down here, he's weak as fuck. He needs to recharge in the suit off of this red kryptonite energy all the time. He's very underdeveloped in terms of his powers too compared to the classical Superman. See, this is what I'm talking about. Batman's not rich. He's a middle-class dude whose dad got shot and he's trying to save his mom. Like, these are complete underdogs compared to their counterparts in the regular universes. The Joker serves as the canonical Satan of this universe. That's what he is. So, he's a being created to be an avatar from birth. An avatar of evil in this universe. He has a disease that we don't know where it comes from. He might have been born with it, or it might be just a cosmic virus given to him by Darkseid. He has a disease which causes him to turn into this bloodthirsty, demonic creature with white, red face. Like, he's basically what the clown is based on, this demonic creature from back then. The pale man is what the clown is based on. Alright, the very aesthetic idea of the clown. The closest thing to this guy is basically the movie called The Clown, which is this film about this dude who wears this clown costume, which is actually cursed, and turns him into the demonic form of the original clown creature. That's the closest live-action depiction of what this guy would be. And in order to keep his human facade, he needs to feed or get blood transfusions of children. Imagine a guy who looks like this, kidnapping kids in the woods, taking their blood so he can look human. That's the kind of creature we're talking about in this Joker.
Just as an add-on here, the true origin of this specific character is yet to be revealed when it comes to his disease, but there is Arkham Asylum, which is known as Arkham M in this universe. People are taken here and deliberately experimented on, transformed into monsters. Batman himself was imprisoned in Arkham M by Bane and subjected to a lot of physical and psychological experimentation. Bane serves as the head enforcer in this facility. It's rumored that besides having a Lovecraftian eldritch origin, this Joker could have been Patient Zero at Arkham M, the first of which the Venom, the experimental Venom drug, was used on, and he was their most powerful creation, the scariest creation.
This is a very different kind of universe. This is a very different kind of Joker, and a lot of people are gonna have problems with that. A lot of people are gonna be like, no, why are they fucking twisting and bending the Batman and Joker we know? Joker was so good as he was. Let me be clear here. The comic books have already bended and twisted the Joker 70 different ways. There's multiple clones of the Joker. There are like 3 different Jokers in the canonical DC universe that we saw before this, okay? All these different Jokers have different things to them. You could see this as a separate universe. That's one of them, okay? I'm okay with the idea of changing up the traditional story we know to tell new stories as long as they're good. And from what I've heard, this is actually good. It's actually, people have been saying, this is dark, it's brutal, and this is a new awesome look at these characters. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see the Absolute Universe be made into an animated film. I think that'd be cool. Obviously you can't do this in live action, but imagine an Elseworlds DC universe. Look how many DC animated films come out, bro. You could easily do this. An Elseworlds animated DC film, with the Joker being the main villain of Batman's Absolute Universe. Superman has his own Absolute Universe movie. Wonder Woman has her own stuff, and they all come together to fight Darkseid at the end, like the big crossover. That'd be a cool series. I think they should do that. In fact, if there is a bigger slate of DC animated films coming out, they should prioritize this and do something with it. I think it'd be really sick. Do it, y'all. Do it. Absolute Joker makes all the... Bro, Heath Ledger is looking at this dude and being like, what the fuck? Get out of my face, man. This is disgusting. Even Heath would be creeped out by this shit. Because this is just straight up a monster. And people might like the idea of the traditional human Joker who's just an agent of chaos and has all these resources and is a prankster, but this is just a very different character altogether. This is a very different universe of characters. I don't consider them the same characters at all. And if you're going into this skeptical, you probably should think with that same mindset. That's the absolute Joker. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.